Well, hey there guys, and welcome back. On this week's show, we've got a Lego minifigure pieces frame. Well, what the heck is a minifigure pieces frame? With every Lego kit, it doesn't matter which one, you always end up with a bunch of these little small pieces. They're extras in the kit. You end up with hundreds, thousands of these over the time of collecting Lego sets or building with Lego. And what do you do with them? They sit around. You throw them in a bin. Do they ever get used? I don't know. They just sit there. So I wanted to make a small box frame to house these things, but I want to make it a little bit more interesting. So let's head over to the bench and I'll show you what I've got in mind. Well, I have gone on the internet and I have Googled images of a minifigure silhouette, and this is what was provided. I ended up converting it into a line drawing to get a pattern. And this is the cutting pattern for our Lego minifigure. So I have a piece of 1/8 inch thick hardboard. This is 5 by 7 inches, a typical frame size. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach our pattern here on the 5 by 7. And then from there, we're going to head over to the scroll saw. So what you want to do over here at the scroll saw is you want to cut this out. We're going to treat the minifigure as an interior cut. Take your time. A number 2 blade will work perfectly with this 1/8 thick hardboard. So we're going to get this completely cut out, and then from there we can just bring it back over to the bench. All right, and as long as you're careful and you take your time, you end up with something that looks just like this. Now, this piece right here, the dividing line between his legs, that is fragile, as is these little pieces right here between his hands and his hips. So you want to be careful of that. Now, at this point, I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to give the back a light sanding. And if you want, you can take the pattern off, or you can leave it on. It's never going to be seen. For me, I'm just going to leave it on and not worry about it. So what we need to do now, after we sand this, is we're going to paint this entire thing flat black. So I will get that done, and then we'll put it aside to dry, and we can move on after that. While we're waiting for the paint to dry, I have ripped some pine. So what I've done is I've ripped this to be 2 inches wide, and it's 3/4 inch pine. But this 2 inches wide, this is not the width of the frame. This is the depth. This is a box frame. So what I have done is I have cut a rabbet here on the back side of this, or I guess it'll be the inside once the frame is done. And this rabbet is 1/4 inch deep and 1 3/4 inch wide. Now, this particular video is not a frame tutorial, so I am just going to take this over to the table saw using my miter fence. I am going to cut the pieces that I need in order to make a frame that will house that 5 by 7 inch minifigure cutting that we did. And with the pieces of our frame cut, I'm just going to do a dry fit here. I want to make sure that everything is looking good before I continue. As I said, guys, this is not a frame tutorial video. I have plenty of those on the channel if you're interested. This is more of an idea-inspiring video. All right, so look at that. That looks great. The miters are all tight. They look nice. Let's just have a look at the other side. Yeah, and the other side looks really good too. This is a very deep frame, and it is meant to be. So don't worry about that for now. There's a lot more to do. We're not going to glue this together just yet. There's a few more things to do. So before we move on, one of the things that we can do is we can cut a piece of glass to fit in here if we don't already have one. You're going to need a piece of glass. I'm going to use 2 mil glass for this. I guess once our piece is dry, being the paint, we can come back and do a little more to this. But for now, we're kind of at a standstill. Well, with our cutting dry, we now need to cut a few pieces for the inside of the frame. The thing is that we don't want to have to fill this entire area with the smaller Lego pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place our glass in here, and then we will place our cutting, just like that, as well as our backer board. And we now want to take a careful measurement from this surface here on our backer board to the edge or the back edge of our frame. And in this case, it looks to be 1 7/16. So out of some 1/2 inch thick material, I am going to rip some 1 7/16 wide stock, and we will cut it to be the same length as the interior of our frame. Well, now these pieces, after we give them a light sanding, they are going to get glued to the back of our cutting just slightly to the outside of the minifigure's hands. It's going to serve two purposes. One, it's reducing the space inside the frame that has to be filled up with Lego pieces, but it's also to support our backer board here on the back of the frame. Now you may notice, or you may not, I don't know, there's a tiny little corner here hooked out or cut out of this backer board. And that is actually intentional. That is so that when this is full of Lego pieces, and if for some reason you need to take the back off, you can lay it flat, hook your finger in there, and take the backer board off without spilling all your pieces everywhere. Okay, so let's get these pine sections glued to our cutting, and then we can move on to our next step. We're going to draw a line in from each long edge of our frame at 1/2 inch in from each edge. This will give us the clearance with our hole for our rabbit here and our glass and our front plate. I'm then going to bring the sides of our opening in 1.5 inches from each end. I actually had it at 1.25 inches originally, but it doesn't provide enough clearance for our spacers that we just recently added. So I'll square those lines off. So this center line here is the one that we want to cut out, not the exterior one. That was my initial thought, and it really doesn't work. So I'm just going to take this over to the scroll saw now, and we will carefully cut out that square. And there is our fill hole, but we can't leave it open like this. So I have a rabbiting router bit, and we're going to head over to the router table, and I'm just going to put a 1/4 inch deep rabbit all the way around the hole that we just cut in the top surface of our frame piece. And you end up with something that looks like this. So guys, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a 1/4 inch thick piece of pine that mimics that shape that we just routed, that rounded shape. And then we're going to place our original cutting back in the hole, and we're going to glue that plate onto that original cutting. The extra length, which is sticking out through the bottom, is going to help it stay in place so that it's not going to pop out constantly. Now, if you want it to, you could drill some small rare earth magnets here to hold the lid in place, but I think that the extra girth here of the original cutting, it's tight enough of a fit that it's not going to fall out. So let me get that done, and I'll show you what it looks like at that point. Okay, and there is our lid. Not pretty on the inside with our entry hole, but you're never ever gonna see that, and it just sits there like that. Again, not a perfect fit in the top, but you need to be able to hook it to pull it out should you want to replace or add Lego pieces. So not a perfect fit, but I'm happy with that. It's not like it's fine woodworking. And when it's sitting on the shelf, you're never going to see that again because you're not going to be looking down from the top. Okay, so the next step here is we can take this out of here and let this fully set up, and we're going to glue our frame together. Now guys, when you glue the frame together, Make sure you clean up your squeeze out. Make sure you're checking all of your corners after it's clamped up to ensure that they are perfectly seated together. Make sure there are no gaps. Just double check everything, because once this thing sets, you're going to have a really hard time making corrections. So while the glue is wet is the time to shift things to make them fit properly. Well, at this point in time, we need to give the entire frame a good sanding. The glue is completely cured and we're good to go. And once you get it sanded, it's just a matter of assembly. So your glass will be placed in first. Guys, make sure you clean it really well. Wear some latex gloves while you're cleaning it so you're not getting any fingerprints on that glass. Next, our cutout will go inside here with our braces, our spacer pieces, and then our backer board will be set in place, and we're going to use some photo turns to hold it in place. And you end up with this. From there, all you need to do is pour your Lego pieces down in here, and the colorful pieces will fill this up and basically color in your entire minifigure over time, and give you a cute little display piece. I'm actually going to stain this frame. I want this like a Sedona red. So I am going to stain this and then add a finish to it. And then we can call this one complete. And there you have it. A Lego minifigure pieces frame. Guys, this is just a fun project. It's fun from the beginning to the end. You got all kinds of elements here. You have scroll work, you have glass cutting, you have frame making, you have table saw work, you have router work. There is a little bit of everything mixed all into one here, and it's just a fun project with a final product that really kind of looks cool. And what do you do anyway with all of those extra pieces that you get with your Lego kits? Here's a great way to display them. So one thing I didn't mention is how that backer board gets held into place. Guys, for that, I use photo turns, the same as I do on my other frames, and that will hold it all together. It's a solid but non-permanent solution. So if you ever have to take it all apart, you still can. If you need to get in there, say replace the glass should it get broken or that sort of thing, you can still get access to do that. Either way, this is a fun project. If you don't want to, say, do the scrolling of the minifigure and you have access to, say, a Cricut cutter, how about doing it in vinyl and adhering it right onto the glass? There's an idea for you. That could work as well and would give you the exact same result as what I've created here, minus the having to use the scroll saw and minus the painting. But who wants to take away scroll saw work? That's half the fun. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in this week. This one's very different. I got the idea online. I was just browsing around and this thing popped up that it was available for sale, this minifigure frame to hold all your small pieces. And I thought, what a fantastic idea. And then I got into designing my own little version of that. So it's a fun little project, and you can make it whatever size you want. If you don't have many pieces, you can shrink it down. If you have a lot of pieces, you can enlarge it. You can control how much is required to fill it by those spacers on the inside too. So this project has a lot of versions to be able to be modified. So you don't have to stick with what I've done here today. If you haven't already, if you found any part of today's show fun, informative, likable, entertaining, why not like and subscribe to the channel? We have an incredible audience base here, and I'm truly hoping that you're going to consider becoming a part of that. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope you've enjoyed the content. I'm going to put the minifigure PDF up on the website for download, for free download in the free patterns section. If you want to do your own minifigure one and want to use the image that I used here today, I'll put it on the website there for download. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope that you're going to try this one for yourself. Hope you're going to take advantage of that free download on acutabovewoodworkings.com. I hope you're going to twist this and modify it, make it your own. I hope you're going to send me photos of your project. And more importantly, I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another woodworking video.